My name's Bateson. I'm a 12-0 professional boxer, train out of Leeds with my dad Mark and my coach P from Golden Team. I'd say my biggest attributes as a person, as a fighter, one, being a switch hitter. I'm as good southpaw as I am orthodox. That's one thing not many people can do. And one, as a person, I would say I'm very dedicated, no matter how well I do, I'm my own worst critic. So after every fight I've had, I kick myself sometimes because I come out and I'm thinking, the first thing I'll ask someone is, was it all right? Was it all right? You know what I mean? But that is what makes me, want to be so much better. And I don't see I'm nothing of what I want to be, you know what I mean? So hopefully one day I'll be happy with something. I've always sparred with professionals as an amateur, done a few rounds here and then somebody else would jump in. And I've always thought, easy to get the better of them. But until you know that you've got to do 12 rounds rather than 4 or 6 rounds or whatever, which you usually spar as an amateur, you realise that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And the difference with the gloves as well, from the amateurs to the pros, there's nothing in the pro gloves, you know what I mean? So it's a total different ball game. I mean, yeah, I have come under the radar. I turned professional off the back of a good GB career. Won all sorts of medals as an amateur. But I sort of had to start up from these small hall shows, on my dad's shows, and I got on a few, big undercards, but they were undercards, and I'm 12-0 now, and like you say, sort of under the radar. But it's been good for me because it's made me hungrier. I'm seeing these people that I trained with as an amateur, on the TV, winning titles, and it makes me want it so much more and makes me work that little bit harder. And maybe if I'd have been introduced to it straight away, I might not have been as hungry. So when my time comes, I know it'll come nicely. And my dad always says to me, just keep on winning because your time will come. I feel lucky to be able to do what I do as a profession, you know what I mean? And it's always been my job. But one thing about me is, like, when I'm fighting, when I'm training, when I'm sparring, it is my work, it is my job, and I'm very serious about it. I can switch off and have a laugh and stuff, but when it comes down to business, like, I'm on it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very, very focused and set in. Whereas I've noticed a lot of people, they're bubbly and they're laughing and they take a bit of a joke, you know what I mean? I feel like I can't do that. It's got to be like, boom, all or nothing, you know what I mean? One day I want to be a world champion. Like, it's as simple as that. I want to pick up a British title, and many titles along the way. The more titles the better, but I'm a long way off doing that, and one day I want to achieve them goals. And I want to leave the game knowing that I did everything I can to do that. I don't ever want to have any regrets. My biggest loss in my career wasn't even a loss. I didn't make it to the Olympics. I was a little bit too young for the 2012 Olympics when I was on Team GB, and everyone said, "Oh, Jack Bateson, he's a man for 2016." Like, they were saying it before it was even a cert, you know what I mean? Anyway, I didn't make it to 2016 Olympics, and I sort of fell out of love with the game a little bit, and I had to reset, and that was just fuel to the fire then. And now I want to achieve it all in the pros, so it might be a good thing in the long run. So to me, boxing is everything. From a young age, for most kids, it's either football or rugby. For me, it was boxing. My dad and my uncle were coaches. They boxed as youngsters. My brother boxed when I was a youngster. I was always watching him go to the gym. When he packed in, I was about the age of 9, and my dad used to say, "You coming to the gym? Are you coming to the gym?" I wasn't bothered at all. He pestered me. I went, all right, I'll come with him. Sort of shut him up. Anyway, before I knew it, I was hooked, and a year into my career, from my first fight at 11, I was boxing for England, like 12-0. Lost that fight against Ireland by a point. Cried for weeks, and then that's it, just boom, flash. I'm here now, it's crazy. The most exciting thing about being a fighter for me is nothing's promised. Like, you can be as good as your Mayweathers and whatnot, but without that hard work, you're gonna get beat, and you can always slip up. And even if you don't slip up, it takes one punch. We've seen a lot of upsets recently, and it's boxing. Everyone thinks about keeping your O, but it's boxing, it happens. And you never promised nothing in this game. Legacy is important to me, but like, I want to leave a legacy behind, but at the end of the day, I just want to do what I set out to do in the game, you know what I mean? I want to be comfy afterwards, like, I just don't want to have regrets. But yeah, legacy is important. It'd be amazing to, you know, walk around Leeds and, you know, be respected for doing something, you know, that I've done in my career. So yeah, it is quite important.